Yeah, I'm disappointed in the offense, in the entire game really. Because even in the first half, we weren't able to establish and drive the ball and run the football the way that we could. We made some errors in protections. It didn't allow us to convert a few third downs early in the game. But we were getting chunk plays. We were making big plays, throwing the ball. We were able in the second quarter to get the ball in the end zone and then got the big interception for a touchdown. But we never did establish the run at all. We threw and caught the ball pretty well at times, but we turned the ball over in the fourth quarter, and you're not going to win games when you turn the ball over in the fourth quarter. Defense, I thought, competed extremely hard. We're able to hold them to field goals, got us in a position in the fourth quarter where we could have went and won the game offensively, and offense didn't do it.
Kind of two parts here. What stood out about the fourth quarter interceptions from Talon, and then specifically, I believe, on that second one, it looked like two guys were running kind of the same. What happened on that play?
Yeah, the first one was an option route, and when you get a cloud corner on it, you're supposed to read it like what we call a blue, which is you have a fade down the sideline, and then the option route breaks out. And he just didn't do it. He didn't see the cloud corner, and the guy made a nice play, but it should be something. He did the exact same play against Tennessee and threw the whole shot down the sideline. So that one's hard on us. On the other play, we had a sail route called, and the outside receiver released inside and brought the corner's eyes there. If he would have just got outside, it was a really nice route, and it was a good throw. He wasn't expecting the corner to be there.
What about Talon overall today? He just didn't maybe seem himself. It didn't run it as much as he has. You think the knee was messing with him?
Yeah, it definitely hurt us, that his inability to run the football, and particularly early. He had a couple where he could have kept it early. Fourth down stop is a keep, and we didn't execute it that way. So we definitely got a lot of work to do to get that back in our game. We need that in our game to be able to be successful offensively.
The Auburn defense today, what did you expect from them? I mean, did you expect this kind of performance from the Auburn defense?
I knew it was going to be tough. They're good. They're physical inside. They do a good job on controlling blocks and shedding blocks. Their safeties did a really nice job of getting to the run, and we didn't win some one-on-one battles with the safeties, which normally we have, which is how you create the big plays. So I knew it was going to be a battle. I was happy about the explosive plays that we made and the scheme plays that we made, but we just didn't execute when it came down to I need to block him and we need to get the ball there.
Kanai's interception felt like such a big swing. What was kind of your reaction on the sidelines first?
Yeah, it gave us a lot of momentum, a lot of energy going into halftime. It was a great play by him. And then, we came out of halftime and they got a kick return on us. Defense still did a good job. And then they blocked a punt, and then the offense didn't execute. So I really felt like the defense played well enough for us to win the game. And offensively and special teams-wise, we didn't get the job done.
After Talon's first interception, you walked up to him and said something. Is there anything you say to try to maybe calm him down to prevent future ones?
Yeah, we're talking about just read your progression, do what you've been coached to do, and you made that exact same play a couple weeks ago. So it's just kind of, you gotta, as a quarterback, you gotta face it when you don't do what you're expected to do, when you don't go through your progressions and see the defense, and and we struggled with that today.
Time lead since Memphis about a month ago. How do you call a game differently coming out with a lead, if you do?
Yeah, well, we didn't do a very good job of it, so we got to get better than that.
Tom kind of asked you about this, but was Talon's knee at all, is it bothering him or limiting him at all?
No, the knee was good. It was good. He got the go-ahead. He practiced all week long. He just didn't come out and execute like we expect him to do, and they're good on defense.
Yeah, I was going to ask how much of that was Auburn and how much maybe of Talon just kind of not seeing things today?
Yeah, it was both. There's no question that they're good, but we didn't execute and do the things we've been doing on offense, running the football, converting third downs, establishing that we can make big plays, running the ball. I thought not being able to run the ball hurt us the most.
Is there anything they were doing, like on zone read and stuff, to give you guys trouble? It seemed like, there were times where Taylor was making the right choice and it just wasn't there.
Yeah, they're flying to the ball. There's a reason why they're one of the best defenses in the country. So they were definitely flying to the ball and making plays.
How did you feel like the defense did overall, kind of working around the thinness on the defensive line?
Yeah, I thought they did a really nice job. I know they were competing extremely hard. We made some huge plays to hold them to field goals, not exactly to get off the field. We did a nice job on third down defense, which was a huge step forward from a week ago. I told the defense I felt like you guys played good enough for us to win the game, and offensively we didn't do our part in the fourth quarter, taking the ball and going driving and scoring points.
So you talked to Coach Fountain after the blocked punt. What did you see actually go wrong on that play on special teams?
Well, they brought it at us, and we didn't do a good enough job blocking it, and we can't have block punts now. Those things change games.
Bobby, what do you make of Rohan and his ability to really cash in on some of these explosive plays this year, but yet maybe not getting them the ball more?
Yeah, we continue to call his number and work hard to get him the ball. I think he had over 100 and some yards receiving today, and he's a very, very explosive guy. They made a few adjustments in the second half to take the plays that he makes available away, zoned it up a little bit more, kept the corner's eyes inside on him. Early in the game, I think, we got him in man coverage with linebackers, and he did a really nice job.
And they did have 230 yards rushing, as significantly more than they had this year. How much did, kind of a follow-up to Christina's question there, some of the attrition there, guys playing through injuries, and some late adds to the injury report?
Yeah, I think they were just stubborn about we're going to run the ball. They did a nice job of running the football. They had a lot more plays than we did because of their ability to get the third down, the fourth down conversions. And again, I felt like defensively we played good enough to win. Offense needed to do their part, and special teams needed to do their part.
You played a lot of, kind of another follow-up on the defensive line attrition. You played a lot of 3 D-line sets. Was that part of maybe a game plan to prevent Auburn, or is it because of just the thin numbers up there?
Yeah, a little bit of both. We're matching some personnel groupings that they had, and Charlie was playing like a linebacker / defensive end, which allowed us to have bigger guys out on the field and to work in 3 linebackers, and Charlie, I guess, more of like a 3-4 type deal.
What is Cam dealing with that prevented him from playing today?
Yeah, he had an injury in practice that, we don't have the ability to tell you what that injury is. It's a shame that it happened. It's kind of a freak thing that it happened. It wasn't something that we were, expecting. And then all of a sudden he was out for the game. So I don't know what his status is for next week.
There were multiple times in the second half where you guys had the ball and could have made it a 2-possession game, and you weren't able. In the moment, could you feel that those were missed opportunities, not maybe going up by 2 scores?
Yeah, definitely missed opportunities. We had chance for momentum to be on our side and drive the ball and go score, and we didn't come up with the plays offensively.
Your team has really held on to the rope through the losing streak. Do you have any concerns that after this one, a winnable game, that they're not going to compete as hard as they have been?
We talked about it. We talked about, when you lose, it always challenges your attitude and your work ethic and how you're going to respond to it. Everybody in that room is still working hard at trying to, make their brand better. And I expect them to come out and continue to work hard and do that and have a good attitude. And, I think defensively they've got to build on what they did today and work on it. And offensively, we got to get back to work and back to how we play.
And then just the second quarter, the momentum you built up and the feeling at halftime after Kanai's pick 6, just maybe can you talk about how y'all were at halftime?
There was a lot of energy, no doubt. A lot of energy in the locker room, a lot of coaching going on, a lot of trying to work on how to start the third quarter off and drive the football and move it. And, we got to some third down situations and weren't able to convert. And that first drive coming out of halftime, we made a really bad error with the offensive line and protections, and that hurt us.
Did you kind of sense that a quarterback change might be coming out of halftime, and how do you think the defense adjusted?
Yeah, I think after the interception that we knew they were going to play the other guy at quarterback. He's a very good athlete, good runner. We've got a couple guys on our staff that are very familiar with him because he was at Stanford. We got two coaches that were we got three coaches that were at Stanford, so they were very aware of his abilities, and our defense talked about him and worked on it throughout the week. Felt like it would add to their quarterback run game because he's a tremendous athlete and runner. And he made some first downs running the ball.
Coach, appreciate you.
All right.